I'm upset.
I think me crying over my ex twice without being able to stop should be an indication that I don't want to kiss you. I don't care if you paid for my drinks.
At least a kiss on the cheek.
No way.
No way.
Buckle up, bitches. This is gonna get bumpy. This is the breakup diet.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Breakup Diet. Today we have a very, very old friend of mine on. Probably my oldest friend.
Oldest, probably. We've known each other since we were I was 8 and I think you were 5.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that, to be fair.
Yeah, we used to do pony camp together, which is really cute. We have a photo. Maybe we should insert the photo.
Yeah, we'll put the photo here.
Yeah, it's really sweet. So this is Esta Fiorani.
Hi, everyone.
And Aussie, also Dutch as well.
Yeah.
And she's coming on the Breakup Diet today to just chat, really. We're going to chat about breakups, relationships. In this episode, I want to ask Esther about a breakup when you've been in a 6-year relationship with someone, because that's a long time.
It is a long time, and it's really hard to get over someone, especially when they're your everything, they're your best friend, but the relationship isn't right. And it honestly took me so long to get over it and all of the healing I had to do and everything. But yeah, I would not recommend. But again, after it kind of gets to that stage in a relationship where it's okay, what's next? And I didn't really see a future with that person, but it was definitely really, really hard to navigate, and just missing that person and not having them as your best friend or immediate person to even contact or anything anymore was extremely tricky.
And also, what I would imagine would be hard is when you're so integrated for so many years, losing the friends that you have together, maybe, and also even their family.
Yeah, and their family as well. I was really close to his mum too, and his brothers, and then even just having no contact after that was really, really tricky. So yeah, I don't think it helped working alone and remote as well. I really struggled after the breakup. I had so many regrets as to why I broke up with him and everything. And I think you just really have to remember why you broke up with someone that you weren't happy. I was not looking like myself. I was very unhappy for a long time, but it's so hard because I definitely broke my own heart in the process.
Yeah, and also I feel it's hard when you break up with somebody when they're not a bad person.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad person or anything,
No,
and
not
he
at all.
didn't do anything bad to you. And that's what makes it harder when you know it's not right, but you still have a lot of love for them and you've been together so long, and then it's you don't want to hurt them, but then you know it's not right, so you both are getting hurt along the way anyway.
100%. Even just little things were just constantly fine. If things did happen in the relationship, we wouldn't really overcome them properly. I think our communication was something that was definitely off throughout the relationship. But definitely even after the relationship, I think I jumped into dating way too soon. And I went on my first date, and I remember it so clearly.
How long after?
Probably 2 weeks, I'm going to say. Something really, I don't know.
rough.
I was great, let's get into it. Let's not waste time.
There is no right reason, but it is I don't know. I couldn't do that. I just cry. I couldn't even for 3 months later. I just cried.
I was not ready. So I went on a date, really lovely guy, took me for dinner, took me for drinks, walked me home, went to kiss me, and I just wasn't feeling it at all because I just wasn't over my ex at all. I was not ready to date. I recommend do not jump into anything before you actually heal, because you're wasting other people's times as well at the end of the day. And I remember my friend and I were walking 30,000 steps, just listening to music. My Spotify wrap up that year was depressing, or it was just techno music, whatever. But went on the date with him. He dropped me home. And then I remember just breaking down, and I had a new roommate at the time, and I was just I need to get out of the house. So I ran to the park, got my steps in, and I just couldn't stop crying. I had a full face of makeup on as well. Yeah. And my phone was on 2%. I'm in Melbourne. I'm at the park. It's late. It's probably 10 p.m. or something. And I'm I can't get home because I'm hysterically crying at the park. So I call my best friend Molly, and she's okay, come to mine, made me tea, put me in a hot shower. I was unwell. And it was so funny as well at the time because I just had my Botox done. I was proper Kim K crying in the mirror, and I'm laughing. And yeah, I think it's also really important to have that one friend or a few friends that you can really rely on through a breakup too. Like the amount of times I call Molly or even you, Yaz, through it all, and you're probably just like, oh my God, shut up.
You have to be able to say the same story so many times, because when I'm going through a breakup, I go through it so many times. Like, and you can't, one day you might not speak about it as much, but then believe in the process. It will come back, and you have to have another week of like solid debriefing the same idea 100 times.
And it does get better. I think changing your environment or going on a holiday with your girlfriends and getting out of the routine that you had with that person is definitely something helpful. That's something I did wrong. I stayed living in the same house with all of the same memories and that.
Did he move out?
Yeah, he moved out.
Oh God.
So I was in the same house, and
That's
like without
bad.
my dog, it's like the same energy. You need to erase space and get all of that juju out, because the memories will come back 100%.
I even had that here, and that was like not nearly the same level. Like I never lived with my ex here or anything. It was just like the very beginning of our relationship. We spent a lot of time like in my house, and I had all those happy memories, and even that to me was so triggering, because every time I walked through the house I was like, and that was only maybe 2 months of the very beginning, but it like ruins your Zen place.
No, it does. So if you're going through it, make sure you move out of the house you were with your ex, and also like start doing new things and build up your own routine as well. Like what were you doing, and what did you like doing before
this particular breakup? What do you remember what you did? Did you go out a lot? I did
go out a lot at the beginning, which was quite, what's the word? Detrimental, I guess, in a way. Like it was so much fun going out with friends and stuff, but I wasn't ready. And I would find myself getting quite drunk every weekend. And I think I was just on the search for someone to kind of fill the void, and I wasn't focusing enough on myself. I did pick up hot Pilates and drop 12 kilos. So yay for that. Yeah. Breakup glow ups are real. So make sure you jump on that 100%.
When you did like break up and everything, was it like a seamless breakup, or was there kind of a little bit of a back and forth? Or was once it was like done, was it just done?
It was pretty done. We didn't even have a proper conversation about it, which was really weird after such a long, I guess, relationship. But it was pretty done.
But you guys had kind of broken up a few times, but not, right? Like broken up, got back.
No, not so much breakups, just more of a break when something happened. That's something that we didn't have, is like good communication. So it was just a bit like cut, just done straight away. We didn't even speak after that.
I would find that so hard. I know that's probably the best. It probably is the best to actually move on, to just cut all communication and be done. I definitely do think that is the healthiest thing actually, but it's so hard to do. It is
so hard. I've definitely sent some messages back in the day to him. I also ran into him on a first date, fresh after the breakup.
How long after was it?
I think it was 2 months after.
Okay. And he was on a first date. How do you know it was a first date?
I'm not sure how they were sitting and everything. And I was in the restaurant. I walked in. It was so awkward. I fully introduced myself to her and said hi to him. And my friend was like, this is so awkward.
To be fair, I think I know that's probably not good, but I probably would have too. You were together like 6 years. So fair enough. Like I probably would have too. And you didn't end on like nasty terms. No. Like although it's not nice, you probably didn't end up on bad,
Exactly.
So I mean, you're going to be staring at each other anyway and looking at each other anyway. Like, it's awkward. So you might as well go off there and be like, hi.
Exactly. That was my thought process. But they ended up leaving, which is probably understandable, but it was so awkward.
Hi, I'm his ex-girlfriend of 6 years. Who are you?
Yeah, pretty much. I went up. No, I didn't say that. I went up and I was like, hi. Like, obviously gave my ex a hug and a kiss. And then I was like, did the same to her. I was like, hi, I'm Esther. And then you could kind of see it like clocking in her mind. And I was like, this is just so awkward. Oh my gosh, and I was so tipsy as well. So it was just, awful.
I mean, that's probably better because then you would have been more confident. Like, as in, do you think she would have known, or do you think she worked it out from that moment? Because if it was a first date, you probably haven't talked about exes.
Yeah, but I do think you do a little stalky stalk on the Instagram before.
Did he have photos of you?
I'm not sure if they were still up or not, but maybe. If it wasn't a first date, then she probably knew. But otherwise, I have no idea.
Oh, that's awkward. To be fair, if it was a first date for me, I'd probably know.
Yeah. You got to do the due diligence.
You got to go in and see if there's any girls on their Instagram page, because otherwise they might have a girlfriend.
Yeah, you never know these days.
You actually don't know these days. No. People are rats.
Rat-a-tat-tats are out there.
Okay, so then you saw him with this new girl.
Yeah.
How is that seeing your ex on a date with somebody else?
I mean, I did cry that night and send him a weird message.
Oh, yeah, fair. I know the message. We won't say the message.
Not gonna say it.
Yeah, fair. Okay, and going back to obviously being with somebody for 6 years.
Yeah.
How did you really like cut the routine with them and all this sort of stuff? You said you went walking, you said you hung out with friends, but how did you like when you were feeling sad in the house that you used to live with him? What did you do?
I mean, I did cry a lot, especially at night, and I would call my mum quite a lot, my like best friends at the time as well. But to get out of that, I was really just like focused on getting really fit again and looking my best and feeling my best as well, because I did kind of lose myself in like what I like doing. So I just got into that, started hot Pilates, started the gym, hanging out with friends a lot more, coffee dates, and that kind of heals. And then I do think like a holiday kind of resets everything, to be fair.
I think a holiday is actually so good, but the only thing with a holiday is you have to be ready too, I think.
Yeah. Otherwise you're just moping around in the hotel.
Me and
just
Monaco.
Like, oh, yeah, you were Monaco.
Me and Monaco.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
You were not ready for the streets.
No. I was just like crying the whole time and I was like, this isn't fun. And it was totally like one of the most fun things you can do. And I'm just there like, I'm having so
We
much
still made you have
fun.
fun, but you could tell you were going through pain. But then we were all trying to like maybe overcompensate on like, you're having fun. But
You're having so much fun. I was like, oh yeah, so much fun. I miss my ex. I wish I could go back right now and do it and I wouldn't be as sad. And then I had a friend with me, Lessa, like obviously the first time we went out, and obviously then when you're drinking and you're out and you don't sleep as much, you're then even a bit more like sensitive. So I'm even heightened on my heightened, you know? And then I remember we were drinking all day and then I obviously started getting sad and then she wanted to go out and I was just like crying. I was like, look, you just go out. She's like, I don't want to go out alone. I'm like, you just go out because Yaz is just sad.
you're like, I'm not going to have
I'm
fun.
like, I'm sorry. I know this is the worst thing ever, but like, I'm just sad.
You got to get out. Your friends got to drag you out. They got to be patient with you because it will take a long time. And yeah, I think that's honestly the best thing, just hanging out with friends, doing things you like. And slowly it gets better, I promise.
Was your 6-year breakup, do you think that was the hardest breakup for you? Because you've had a few like in your life, obviously.
Yeah, I think after all of my breakups, I've been like, I get very emotional after. And I'm like, I always have regrets on if I broke up with someone. And I don't know why that is. But you just really need to remember why you did it and write that list of like why you did it.
Yeah, some people say that they print it out and like actually look at it. Because when you go through a breakup, it's so easy to forget all the bad things and you just like focus in on like all the nice memories and like all the nice times, and then you like start to regret it.
Exactly. And you also wouldn't have broken up with them if you didn't feel like it was necessary.
Yeah.
If you felt safe and happy, like I feel like your brain's like wired to stay in it if you are happy. And I think, yeah, you just kind of lose yourself, and you can see it even like in photos when you are unhappy, like how you put like, you're not glowing, you're not, you just don't feel like yourself or look like yourself either.
It's funny when you look back at photos. I have this when I look back on my like phone, you know, the previous years, and you can look and see like, you know, what was going on at that time, but no one else might not, but you can be like, oh geez, I was not looking good there, and this is probably why, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're in the moment, you sometimes don't realize.
No.
Which is scary.
I know. And it honestly took so long to get over them. I think, I don't know, back to your question about if that was the hardest breakup, I think I regretted it the longest out of my other breakups. And I also feel like it's so hard to break up with someone. I haven't been broken up with, touch wood, but I feel like just the guilt that you experience of like making someone so unhappy in that decision as well. And then also, of course, yourself. I feel like that would be trickier than being broken up with.
I've only been dumped, and like although that was so hard and so hurtful, I could not dump someone. I don't think like I would regret it.
Yeah.
I would second guess myself the entire time. I just know how I am. Yeah. But then I've always been told this: if you don't know what to do nothing. But I don't think that's necessarily the best advice either, because if you do nothing for so long and you know you're unhappy, then I'm like, but I think you have to, if you're going to break up with someone, you have to have that thought a few times. And like, then I think, yes, if you're having it multiple times, you should. Yeah. If you've had it once because he's pissed on the floor and you're annoyed and blah, 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 then I don't think you should do it. It's only when you've like had a recurring thought or you're unsure.
Absolutely.
For several months, and I'm like, you probably should.
Yeah. What my friends kind of did, and what I also have done to a friend in a similar situation, I've given her a cutoff date. I go, okay, in 6 months, if you are still talking to me about this is the date, and I'm going to tell you the things, because you do kind of like, oh, but he does this and I love him for this. And what if you can't find everything of that person in someone else, and you can't? Just having that date of, okay, this is going too long. Like, you don't want to waste your time either.
Yeah, but what would you say then for somebody, for example, they're great for the 6 month spell that crosses over that date, and then 5 months after that set date, the problem is then back again.
But I feel like when you see that calendar event or that timer in your phone, and if you're still kind of feeling umming and ahhing, then it's a no. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Like, as much as I love that person, I didn't experience the things that I wanted to experience, and me doing those things, it always kind of created problems within our relationship, obviously, because I was traveling and working remotely and doing all these things, and that obviously wasn't making the other person happy either. So I do really think in your begin 20s, do the things you want to do, otherwise you're not going to be happy later on in a relationship per se.
Yeah.
Because you haven't done the things you wanted to do, and you haven't done that self-development.
It's hard though when you first start dating somebody, and also even when you're in a relationship, because you do want to see them and you do want to spend time with them. So you do compromise. Well, I found, like I did sometimes not do things, even though my ex would be happy for me to do them, like never told me not to. I did find myself like adjusting my life because I wanted to spend time with that person.
Yeah.
But then also I didn't do some things that I wanted to do, even though I could. So it's like a hard balance, isn't it?
It is a hard balance, because you like obviously don't want to hurt the other person, or you do want to focus on that person. And obviously a relationship is two sides and you have to meet in the middle. But I also believe that you still need to do the things you want to do. Otherwise, like, what if it doesn't work out between that person, or what if he dumps you later on and then you haven't done the things thinking that he was the one?
Exactly.
I think your partner has to support you on the things you want to do. Of course, you have to compromise within the middle. But ultimately, if you're like, I want to do this, they should either support you, or maybe you can have a, I don't know, conversation. Or yeah, I just really do believe your begin 20s, even mid, you should be focusing on your career, your goals, the experiences you want to have alone and with your friends and everything. And then I guess the right partner will hopefully come.
So with your specific breakup of like a 6-year, what would you tell your friend if they were going through the exact same thing in that first month?
Block on everything. I did not do that. I was stalking for a little bit too long. And also, yeah, get out of the routine of what you had with that person and new space, honestly. I think being in the same space that we used to live in together for so long did not help me at all.
When you say get out of the routine, what do you mean? Like, for example, if you went to a coffee shop with this guy all the time?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But also, I think you need to shake things up so it's all new, a new experience. Of course, it's difficult to say move out of your house if you live there with your ex. Of course, there's different circumstances, but you need to otherwise rearrange the room or just kind of change things up so it's not the same as it was, because that person's not coming back.
Like energy is being absorbed into the walls or the furniture of where it was.
Honestly, you got to get the sage.
Yeah. Did you get the sage?
I think I might have gotten the sage at one point.
I would have hoped that you got the sage being from Byron.
I know, you have to. You got to cleanse the space.
You know what I did, which is actually so cuckoo, but I'll tell you, is you have to, I got told to do this though. So you have to basically like have the conversation, like the ending conversation where you say, without them there, I'm talking about, this is like to yourself, you're talking to yourself like
in the
like
mirror.
A person, not even to the mirror, like you are my ex, I'm talking to you like this, and you say everything that you want to say to get off your chest that maybe you didn't say, and then you have to show them out the door. So you literally have to like show them out your front door, get them out, or open the window, get them out. Like you have to be like, now you can go, goodbye. Out of my space.
I quite like that. Good
Someone
advice.
told me. I don't know if it was a guest
Also
that told
a little
me.
bit Byron Bay of you.
No, but I think a guest told me actually.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh. And you
That's
just reminded
a good piece
me.
of advice.
Yeah. And shaking. Like you have to, when you're going through a breakup, to remove the trauma in your body or stuff like this. Like stuff that you can't just talk out. You have to do like dance around your living room or shake it out. That's why exercise, like lots of people like to do exercise after they break up because it like clears their head. But the actual thing of it is because it like moves the, I don't know, I'm not a scientist or I'm not a Reiki expert.
I also think like journaling is really helpful. Maybe getting a therapist so you're not like telling your friends too much all the time as well. I think if I could redo my breakup, I would get a therapist like stat.
I think it's really hard with a therapist though, like not to shade therapy because I think it's really good and really helpful, but I think it's actually detrimental if you don't get the correct one.
Yes, agree.
Because whenever I've tried to have a therapist, I don't think I've had the correct one. No shade to them. I just don't think that they were the right suit to me personally. Yeah. And then I find it a waste of time.
How does this make you feel? I'm like, obviously sad, babe. Like,
yeah, I'm crying.
Okay, no, I want you to tell me how I get over this and why I'm feeling like this, or what is like the childhood trauma or my experience as to why I can't let go. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, or why I keep falling into this pattern, you know? Yeah, but then you also have to go around speaking to this therapist for like a few sessions too, which is also expensive. So it's actually really hard. It's a commitment. Therapy is a commitment. They say you have to date your therapist. You have to like find the correct fit. Ooh. And then I think when you do that, they're wonderful.
No, 100%. Like so many of my friends have amazing therapists and I'm yet to find one still.
What do you think about friends like recommending their therapist? I don't know how I feel about it, purely because I think it's good, like if you find a great one, but then also that therapist knows about your deep trauma, knows about your friend's deep trauma, and then what if you guys have I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, I think you have to keep it quite separate. Yeah. I think so. Unless you like, they know that you're really going to vibe with that therapist.
Yeah.
I think it's fine then.
I mean, I do think it's fine. I'm just being sensitive. But you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want them to.
I get it. But it's all confident.
Yeah, I know. They can't say anything anyway. Yeah. The thought that they could.
But imagine the tea. The therapist is just like, hee, this and this is happening. And like,
could you be a therapist?
It's very, very interesting on like how the human mind works and how we can overcome certain patterns and everything too.
It's all the mindset.
It is. And the energy you give off too. One of my friends is a therapist or a psychologist. She just got her master's and has done 10 years. And I asked her something about my most recent breakup. And she kind of gave me like very, is the word unsolicited advice maybe? I don't know if that's the right word.
I think so.
Her career and just like all of the advice that she's kind of given out to other people and the stats around it all as well. And I think that was really helpful in my latest breakup and just kind of like overcoming it just with more of that authority, but she still sent it in a friend way. Whereas I don't think some therapists can really be like, babe, like you need to let go. Like it's actually not okay.
True. When you talk to a therapist, you take their advice more. Yeah. Like even if your friend says the exact same bloody thing, like I told you the same thing and you were like, no, but which I get because if it's somebody else who's like not biased, who hasn't heard any other backstory as well, it does make a big difference. It's also nice to know that you're not the only one that might have had a similar thing.
Exactly.
That's why you should tune into the breakup diet because we get lots of different people on and they say, you know, experiences that you might relate to.
And this is how to get over a 6-year breakup, 6-year relationship breakup.
You mentioned really briefly that you went straight back out there. You don't think that helped or you do?
I don't think it helps. Well, I mean, by straight back out there, I went on one dinner date and cried myself to sleep basically.
Did you cry on the date or after?
After.
Well done. You held it in until after.
After the date.
You're doing better than I did.
You cried on the date.
Did I not tell you that ever? My second date back ever. My first date back ever was also a shit show. Like, it wasn't even bad, but it was so bad that, like, I ended up going home and just, like, looking at my Instagram crying and looking at his Instagram crying and then being like, I miss him even more. Then I waited another month to go on another date because I was traumatized. Went on my other date and he didn't even say something that was about my ex, or we weren't talking about my ex at all, but he did something that reminded me of him and I just lost it. When I say, and I wear like a lot of eyeliner, black, I couldn't stop crying. Raccoon in front of him to the point of he was like, you can go to the bathroom. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And that I couldn't stop, Esther. Like when I say I'm not even exaggerating, I couldn't stop. I went to the bathroom, came back, after I'd like sorted myself out.
Did you get the bill or did he get the bill?
No. Came back after I sorted myself out to try to like, and then he came back and he like looked at me like I was like a puppy, like a hurt puppy. And then I tried to justify why I was crying, obviously trying to say that it wasn't really about my ex. And then I started crying again. And then he tried to kiss me.
No.
Yes. He was like, well, I better get my drinks worth. Let me try to kiss you. And I was like, no,
I'm upset.
I think me crying over my ex twice without being able to stop should be an indication that I don't want to kiss you. I don't care if you paid for my drinks.
At least a kiss on the cheek.
No way.
No way. I do think dating helps you because if you find someone that you actually like, you kind of get over your ex.
I do think it does help distract you.
Yes.
You're distracting yourself till you don't care, and then they're great, and then it goes into that.
But if it's not, 2 steps back.
Yeah, no.
1 step forward, 3 steps back.
10. I was like traumatized. He still tried to see me after, and I still had to send him a text.
What, after you were crying on a date about your ex?
Yeah, he got my, it's like, yeah, also, he was such a gentleman. He was such a gentleman. Paid for my whole thing. Then got me an Uber home as well. And then wanted to take me out still. So obviously I've got game because I was crying about my ex twice and like not a little bit, like not a one tear. Bawling. Like so embarrassing.
Okay, here's a question. Obviously, if you're not 100% into someone, would you continue the whole date or would you escape?
I would try to leave, which is what I did. Like, I didn't do it in a mean way where he would know. I mean, obviously, if he listens to this, he would know. But it was very well done, orchestrated. My acting classes from years ago came in because I didn't want to make him feel bad because he did nothing wrong. So I left it like 1 drink and then I kind of had an emergency.
I mean, fair. You got to escape sometimes.
Yeah, I did escape. And then I had so much fun. Probably one of my most fun nights out in London. I think it's because I was like an escapee. And I was like on the run. Imagine how awkward it would have been if he then went out and then went to the same place.
And saw you at the club and you're like, hi, emergency, the club was calling.